Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Dirt Grain Steel. So on today's episode, we are going to work on putting a 3D printed L2 Gleaner together. Now I've never done one of these 3D printed models. I'm pretty excited to get started on it. I've got tracks for it, and I have tires for it. I have the same tires that my L2 in real life uses, and I have the same drive tires. And I have the same rear tires that my L2 in real life has, the diamond tread pattern rear tires. I went ahead, when I got this model, I went ahead and got the 6-row Gleaner head for it, but I am going to build a 1063 Case IH corn head for it so that it is just like mine in real life. And I'm going to modify a Erdl bean head to make a 1020 bean head for this L2 just like mine in real life also. So we're going to get started here. We're going to start painting these tracks and get those painted, and then we're going to move on to this. We're going to get the combine all cut out, all the pieces painted, and we will start the assembly. Okay, so we're going to start painting the tracks for the little L2 here. We're using some Testors just orange gloss to do we're going to do our sprocket here, our two idlers, and our bottom rollers. We're going to do those in orange. Now I'm not sure what they were supposed to be on a Gleaner combine when they came with these tracks, but I think it'll look very nice with all these orange, and the track pads and rails themselves and frame will be all black. So I've got a 10/0 paintbrush. I got these at Hobby Lobby. They're a real fine tip. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. A real small tip. So hopefully we can be able to paint these without getting paint where we don't want it. Got a little too much paint on the brush. It's really small surfaces here that we're going to be painting. And we'll come back over with some black and touch it up to get our perfect. That brush just sucks up a lot of paint at once. And I'm not the most steady of people when it comes to painting like this. We gotta get in there just a little bit. There, we got this side of our sprocket painted. And we'll start painting one of our idlers here. Oh, a little too much paint. There we go. Takes a lot of patience to paint stuff this small. Oops, dropped it. So like I said, it's okay to get some orange paint where you're going to have your black, because the black will cover it. That's no big deal. So that looks fairly good so far. Takes a little bit of time to get inside of here and paint these, that's for sure. So anyways, I'm going to keep painting these. I'll get these all painted up and I'll show you what it looks like. So we have our idlers painted, we have our sprockets painted. So now we're going to move on to our bottom rollers, which these undercarriages are similar to one on an excavator or dozer. Same rollers basically, kind of the same sprockets. They look just a hair different, but same track chain and all that. Take a little paint from that one because I got quite a bit of paint on it. Move it down to these other ones. So like I said, we'll paint the orange first. Well, actually you could paint the black first and then touch it up, however you want to do it, but I like to paint the orange first. Flip it over. Do the other side. And then you can always touch all this up to if you get black on it or whatnot. This is kind of relaxing for me. It's a hobby. I like to build farm toys also on the side. That's on top of everything else I do. I enjoy doing this too. Everybody's probably like, you should be out getting a grate all running. Well, can't get in the shop right now, so figured do this and staying home spending a day with Jess anyways. So she's working on her craft stuff, I'm working on my craft stuff. We can talk back and forth and enjoy each other's company while we work on our craft stuff. Well, my model building and she's doing crafts. I don't think you can quite call this crafting. I suppose you could. But there we go. So now, since our orange is done, we're going to start our black. So I clean my brush out here. I got me just a little old soup can of acetone, and I clean my brushes in and wipe them on my pants to dry them off. So I got some of the same black enamel, it's black enamel, but same brand as the orange was. So we're going to start painting our black. So we'll start down here in the bottom of the track. Just work our way around. Like I said before, if you get a little black on your orange, it's no big deal. You can always touch it up. Seems like if you get a little too much paint, it makes its way around. It absorbs in the plastic and kind of goes away. The hardest part's staying steady while you do this. I've actually got a coffee can, a plastic coffee can, that I put some kitty litter in to make it heavy, and I have my left arm resting on it to help steady me while I paint. Works out pretty good because being it's plastic, my arm kind of sinks down in it and it makes a nice, comfortable spot for my arm to be. Hopefully I got that on camera when I was holding it a little too high. It's kind of tough to hold it so it's on camera and in a good spot for me to see. So we're going to continue on with this black. We're going to go ahead and paint this whole track frame. All this gets painted black. So we'll get some video later on when I got it all painted up. So there we have it. I have the 2 track assemblies all painted up, and they're ready to go on the combine. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to have to actually make this a couple part video because there's quite a bit to do here. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to take our 3D printed model, because it is 3D printed all together here. So we need to cut it apart. We're going to use our, I've got some regular, I use these for building models, for cutting them out instead of trying to twist them off the little deals that they're made onto. So I'm going to use this to actually clip all these pieces apart here. It's actually some fairly tough material. So here we have our cab. We have our ladder for our cab. And then here we have our operator station detail inside and back wall of the cab. Then basically our thrasher that contains our feeder beater, our cylinder, and all that. Concave's all in there. Very detailed. Looks just like standing in front of the L2 and looking at it. Our rear chopper. This is our rear axle and our front drive axle. I have to be careful what I cut here because I need part of those. So if I cut them back here, I'll be okay. Now there's no real instructions on how to do these. You just got to kind of figure out from what I've seen on the Shapeways. This came off the Shapeways store. I'll get you the name of the Shapeways store. I'll show you that. And how I got these. So this, I believe, is the rear ladder to get up to the engine. Oh, went flying. I got it back though. And I think, and these are the two pins that hold the front drive tires on. I gotta figure out how to get them out of there. Yep, we're gonna need those. Although I might put a brass axle in it and run it all the way. Well, I can't go all the way through. Might have to drill the ends of that axle and put brass in to make it work. There we go. We're going to need those. These pieces I'm going to paint with some aluminum paint just to find the right color that I want for the combine here. We can cut here. And we can cut here. I had to cut that and trim it off. So here is our, basically our separating part of our L2 engine, hopper, clean grain hopper, return elevators right here, straw walkers would be in here, screens would be in here. This is where our rear axle pokes in. Fuel tank, we're going to paint fuel tank white, paint the bottom here all black. Rotary air screen will be silver or aluminum paint. So, and here's our rear axle. We'll cut these apart. Yeah, because that's how it is on the real thing. Cut that there. And cut this front piece off here. I'll take some sandpaper, some sanding sticks, and kind of sand them down a little bit. So this is our hopper fill auger, our clean grain auger, I should say. This will go in here. We'll have to take some little wire and hold it in there. You need either 26 gauge or 22 gauge wire when you're building one of these. So I have those on hand. And here's our unloading auger. Get it clipped out of here. Now this will mostly be galvanized, except the turret down here will be black and the The end will be black here, and then this will be galvanized. And then these are our basically our hopper extensions when the hopper is full. We'll have to put them on at the top. They have spots where they set in. I can see them already. Yeah, cut it out of there without hurting it. Oh. Now this, I'm not sure. I'm going to have to figure that out as I go. So this piece will actually set right in here after I trim it off and get it where it goes, because those stand up as the clean grain auger fills the grain tank. It stands up and pulls those up and creates basically little hopper toppers. And with this going up and down, a lot of people don't realize, but with this going up and down the grain tank on a Gleaner, it actually makes the grain tank fill evenly and keeps everything center of gravity in the center of the combine. That's how they keep them so well balanced. So here's our mirrors. We'll cut them apart when we're ready to put them on. I'm not going to quite cut them yet. So everything is nicely detailed on this. I really like it. This will fit in here. We'll have to do a little trimming, it looks like, but we'll trim that up to fit inside the cab. I got to paint the interior before I put it together. So anyways, I think this will be the end of this episode, because if not, we're going to get too long and nobody wants to watch a 4-hour long YouTube video. So this will be a couple parts. So this will be the first part, and then we'll make another part. So I'm going to work on this at night, so we might not see it all consecutive. I'm going to do this as I get time to do it. So we might work on it some tomorrow night. We might work on it a couple nights through the week. So just stay tuned. If I'll make sure that I'll make the title of the video so you know what's in this video. So you'll know, you'll watch for the, we'll call it the L2 model project. 3D printed L2 model project. We'll call it that. So just watch for these videos if you enjoyed this. So if you enjoyed this, give me a like and subscribe if you haven't yet. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.